Okay, we've modified Project 9 quite a bit. So if you pick up the book and look at it, the assignments can be very different than what you saw in the book. Reason for this. First off, you've done a lot of what's given to you in Project 9 already in keyboarding. There's a very similar lesson in that class. So that's one of the issues. The other issue is you're going to be working with applications other than Google Suite. And working with other applications, you're going to need to be saving things in a different way than you've been doing before. And so that's why we're covering it in the way we are. Okay, with that said, of course, you went ahead and you opened Project 9, and now you've got a blank sheet of paper. Good. Okay, let's go ahead and open a new tab. And I want you to go to your Google Drive. In our Google Drive, about the only thing we're going to do is come over here to My Drive, and we're going to make a folder called Computer 1. Okay, that's basically the only thing we're going to do. So, Computer 1. And create. Good. That's all we did there in Google Drive. Now, the next thing we're going to do is come over here to the File Explorer, and you see where I'm at. It may not be in the same location on yours because we can reorder these, okay? So what you're looking for is the one that is sort of a brown rectangle with a tiny blue rectangle in it. We're going to go ahead and open that one. Okay, it opened on my other screen. Get over here. Okay, great. Now, a couple of things about what's going on here is this is in your Windows Drive or in your PC. So we're looking at the disk drive on your PC. And when I say your PC, I mean the computer in front of you. Sometimes I will use the word your local computer. We mean there by the computer right in front of you. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Windows C drive. This is basically the bottom of the stack as far as where things are on your computer. In a Windows computer, the C drive is basically the bottom. Don't put things in here. Okay, it's a bad idea. It slows up your computer. The only time you're going to even put a folder in here, okay, is if for some reason you need to share information with somebody else who's using that physically same computer. And that's kind of an unusual situation. It can happen, happens in robotics, but it's kind of unusual. Okay, so I went to the Windows Drive. And I'm going to come down here to users because I want to make sure you're clear on something that if you go to a user who is not you and you try to open their stuff, that's what you get. Okay. You can't go ahead and open their files. I'm going to go over here to mine. And that took me here. By the way, this documents right here is the exact same as documents right here. I just want you to be aware of that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and open my documents folder. And I'm going to go ahead and now here, so we opened our documents folder. So Windows C, users, your name, documents. This is where you need to be doing this. And we're going to go ahead and let's assume it's a sixth grade example because I've already done seventh grade example here. So what you're going to do is you're going to just type in, like if you're a seventh grader, you will just type in seventh grade. You don't need the word example there. That's just for me because I'm using this as an example. Now, there are two ways to make a new folder here. One way is to come up here to the tan rectangle right there, and you can click on that. The other way is Control-Shift-N, and I will do both of them while we're doing this. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a new folder. Okay, notice it's in blue like that. I see a lot of kids hit backspace over that when it's in blue. There's really no need to. If it's in blue, if the white letters, all you need to do is type over it. So I'm going to call this seventh, seventh, uh, seventh grade example two. And what did I just type? Oh wow, that's awful. Grade. And if you're wondering what happened there, I hit the shift key as I hit the seventh grade example two. Okay, so again, yours will just say something like seventh grade. Okay, now I'm going to hit enter. Good, and there we are. So now I'm just going to go over here. Don't double click right here on the letters because a lot of times when you do that, it opens it for typing and it sort of confuses kids. So instead, I know it just worked with me, but like come over here where there's no typing and just double click. Now it's open. Okay, now we're going to put 3 folders in this one. So I'm going to press Control Shift N. Yes, I could have clicked on that same icon up there. I'm going to type in ELA and hit Enter. Good. I'm going to go ahead and Control Shift N. I'm going to type Social Studies. Enter. And I could come over here and I could have clicked on this, and I'm going to type in Computer 1. Good. And there we go. And I just click somewhere to do that. Now we're going to go ahead and use the next tool that we're going to be using in this lesson, which is the snip tool. The snip tool allows you to make partial screenshots. So about everybody by now has made screenshots or captured what's showing up on their screen. But I don't want the whole screen. I only want part of it. I want the part from right about here where it says this PC over to right about here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're going to come down here to where it says type here to search, and I'm going to click in that. And I'm going to type snip, S-N-I-P. And here's the snipping tool. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the snipping tool, and it's going to open. And it opened on my other screen. I'm just going to drag it over here. Okay. Now, if I want to move this around, like if it went somewhere like that, I'm just going to come up here to the word snipping tool, move my cursor right over that with those words, press and hold, and move it. And that may matter. It may show up when we do this next step. It might not. The next thing I'm going to do is click on New. Okay, now having done that, okay, if this had somehow shown up there, and sometimes it does move and does things like that, and I think you saw I moved the cursor over the word snipping tool and moved it over. Now you notice now that the screen has changed its shade and it's gotten sort of cloudier, and you see this cross. I'm going to move this cross up to here where I want to start the rectangle. I'm going to press and hold, and I'm just going to do that. You see the red rectangle, and I'm going to release. And there, I have done a partial screenshot just of the part of the screen I wanted to copy. Now I'm going to come up here and click on Edit, Copy. Yes, I could have just pressed Control-C on my keyboard. Okay, now let's go back to here. I'm going to move that out of the way. I'm going to come over here to Project 9, and real simple, paste it in, Control-V. Okay, sometimes I will tell you that Control-V doesn't work when doing this, and so if that's the case, I'm just going to right-click and select Paste, which is also Control-V. Go ahead and hit Enter. You see the cursor there. If you don't hit Enter, sometimes what happens is when we paste in the next one, it gets rid of this first one, so I went ahead and hit Enter. What I want to be able to see here on your work, okay, I want to see what's called the path. So this PC, Windows, Users, your name, Documents, and then the folder 7th grade, 8th grade, 6th grade, whatever you called this folder, okay? Good. Now let's go back to our assignment here real quick. And no, that's not. The next thing I'm going to do here is now we're going to open up Word. So you're going to come down here, type here to search, and you're going to type in the word W-O-R-D. Word. You see it right here, Word 2016. I'm going to click on that. So if that's the next thing we're going to do is open Microsoft Office Word. And I'm going to drag this again over to this desktop. Okay. So this might be relatively new. It is possible that when you open this, a couple other boxes appeared on you. One of the boxes, the first one, you'll click on something about ask me later or something like that, and click on OK. Then the next box that comes up, you'll cancel out of. Okay, but now we're at Word. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start a document in Word. Can I wait? Okay, now you can see that Word is basically the same as Google Docs. It's a little bit better. It has a few more good features that people like, quite a few more good features. But there's something else to keep in mind here that's important to know. Word is very different than Google Docs in that Word will not automatically save to the cloud. Remember, we've already talked about this. When I say the cloud, I'm talking about that vague connection of all connected devices. The internet is part of the cloud. It's not the entire cloud. Google Docs saves to the cloud. The advantage of saving to the cloud is that you can access your work anywhere. On your Chromebook, on your phone, on a different computer. After you go home, it does not matter. You can access that anywhere. That's a good. The downside in the business world is there's kind of a phrase about storing stuff on the cloud, which is you're storing it on computers you don't own, managed by people you don't know. And a lot of companies do not like this idea. And that is one of the reasons we use, instead of using Google Docs in a lot of business places, we use Word. There are the reasons that it's more fully featured and all those others. An important thing to remember about Word, it's not auto-saving for you yet, okay? So the first thing we do when we open a new document is we need to give it a name and we need to tell it where to save it. So I'm going to come over here to File. I'm going to come down here to Save As, and in this we're different than what we've done before. I'm going to come down here to Documents, and I clicked on Documents. Now it's handing me this here. Now you're going to go ahead and open your folder called 7th grade, okay? Of course, I'm going to have one called 7th grade example 2. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to open the social studies folder now. And I'm just double clicking. I could have clicked on it and clicked on open if we wanted to. That also worked. Now I'm in the 7th grade social studies folder. Okay. Let's go ahead and give this a name. And I'm going to call it King Tut Project. Good. Now, you notice that there were 3 letters at the end following a dot that I basically got rid of when I did this. Okay, don't try typing in any characters after a dot right here. And we'll talk about this more when we get to Photoshop. That is the file extension. That file extension tells the computer what program to use to open that file, okay? Right now, we're saving it as a docx file, which is perfectly fine. And so we're just going to leave the dot everything just alone, let the computer handle that itself, and you'll see that in just a moment. So now I'm going to go ahead and click on Save. Great. Now let's go ahead and start our document. So I'm going to come up here to that. I'm going to come down here to Times New Roman. By the way, this is in alphabetical order. You do need to be aware you will be using Word at the high school and beyond. There it is, Times New Roman. It's in alphabetical order. And 12-point font. Good. And I would type my report here. Good. Okay. So now we've got our report started. So we've done something. So we gave it a name, then we modified the document, meaning we did some work. Okay. Now, next step, we have to save again. Now, because we've given it a name, we don't have to give it another name. We can come up here to this icon right here, which is a picture of a 3.5-inch disc, and I can click on that. That's saved. I could have pressed Control S on my keyboard, as in Control Sierra. That would save. I can also click on File over here and click on Save. That would save. When taking the Microsoft test for teachers and stuff, it's sort of a funny thing. Almost all of these things, they tell you to show at least 3 ways of doing something in most of these tools. Okay, so at this point we have saved. We can safely close our document. Fantastic. Okay, now let's come back over here. And I want to show you where your document is. So I'm going to come over here to Social Studies, and there's your document, okay? And you notice it put that docx file name extension back on it for you. So I said, don't make any changes. Now, with this done, let's go ahead and we're going to make another screenshot, partial screenshot. So I'm going to go ahead and click on our snipping tool, okay? Oh, by the way, I am going to close it on purpose because I want to show you something. So you do not need to close your snipping tool. I just want to show you something here real quick. Okay, I'm going to close it. Ask, do you want to save it? Say no, okay? So that it always opens with nothing in it. Okay, I'm going to actually just click on cancel. But when you close the snipping tool, make sure you say no. Do you want to save the changes? You don't need it. Okay, so cancel. Good, snipping tool. Click on new. And again, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab the entire path and King Tut Project, just like that, okay? And we're going to copy it again, Control C. By the way, when you come to edit up here, if you snip something and you want to make some notes on it in Paint, there it is right there. So you could open it and make changes on it in Paint right away. Okay, but that we're not going to. So now I'm just going to go back over here to our assignment for today, and right here, and Control V. So now we've got 2 things here. First, we see that you made the 3 folders, and you put your King Tut assignment in that folder. Fantastic. We're going to hit enter once more. Okay, now let's come down here to type here to search again. This time I want you to type in Excel, E-X-C-E-L. just like that, and open the Excel app. And it's opening my other screen, and of course I will drag it over. Okay, Excel is a spreadsheet. We've used spreadsheets a tiny bit in this class. We'll use them a lot more, and we'll certainly use them a lot more when we get to computer 2. And you'll be expected to know how to use them when you get to high school. Now, Excel, again, has a lot more features than Google Docs or Google Sheets, does. This, of course, is a plain old worksheet, but what I want to do is go ahead and find the any year 1 month calendar. I will tell you, for a lot of you, if you haven't used it yet, it's going to be in the 4th row and about the 3rd or 4th column, about the 3rd row down. Okay, but I just want you to go ahead and find the any year 1 month calendar. I'm going to click on that. Then I'm going to click on create. Great. We're not going to do a whole lot here, okay? And I'm just going to click on January here because the month I'm making this video is February. So then I'm going to go to this little drop arrow right here. Click on that and come down and select February. Great. And today, and the assignment is due. I actually want you to type something in there, okay? Good. Now, remember, we didn't save it yet, okay? So let's come over here and click on File, Save As. This time we're going to go to our Documents folder. There, Documents, because I've got a lot of stuff here, and that's why. 7th grade example 2. This time we're going to put it in Computer 1, okay? So Computer 1, and I want you to name this just Project Calendar. Project Calendar. Okay, and click on Save. Fantastic. And you can see the name up here if it's been saved. Good. I'm going to go ahead and close it now. Now we're going to come back over to here, and we're going to go find that project. So there are a couple of ways I can move back and forth. I can click on the little arrow here to go up 1 layer. Okay, I can go up here to the path, and I can click on things in the path. So there are plenty of ways of moving around. We just want to make sure that it's there in Computer 1 and to make sure that's visible, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to minimize that, and I'm going to go back to my drive. Remember, we started today by making that Computer 1 folder. Open that Computer 1 folder. Good. Now let's go ahead and go back to this. Now, when I went to make this a bit smaller, I came up here and clicked on the Restore Down button right there, okay? So I clicked on that. Move it a little bit out of your way. And again, I just come up to the white area, press and hold the left mouse button and move this. And of course, I just closed the other thing as I was swinging that around. So let's go ahead and open that again. Okay, and good. Okay, now, when you're storing here, you're storing on the computer right in front of you. It is nowhere else. If you go to another computer, your file is not there. This will start to matter when we get to Photoshop. That isn't actually always the most useful thing for you. Maybe you want the file to be available to you somewhere else. It could happen. And so what we're going to do is simply move this file into your Google Drive. You will be expected to do this many times at the high school, not just as showing you can in a computer class, but just being able to use it. And this is probably the easiest thing you will do all day. Okay, so we've opened our Computer 1 folder, right? I'm going to come over here to the file. I'm going to press and hold the left mouse button down on it, pull it in. I see that little plus sign and the word copy, and I'm going to release the mouse button. That really was all there was to it, and there it is. Now it's in your Google Drive. Now you can access it at home, on your Chromebook, anywhere else. So, big surprise, we're going to go back to make another screenshot. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and click on New. And this is in my way. You see what I said earlier? So I'm just going to put my cursor over the word snipping tool, press and hold the left mouse button, and drag that away. Now I'm going to come up here, and what I want you to get is from my drive so that I can see that part there, okay? That's basically all I really need to see. And release. Control-C, copy, come back over here to the assignment, paste that in, Control-V. That was it. Turn it in. You're done.